Hello, welcome back. So here we learn how to write statements, either mathematical statements or to write them in words. So we have these words and we need to use mathematical statement to explain these statements. So how do you write these statements as these ones? X is greater than 2 but less than 5. That is a compound inequality. So what you need to understand is that X is greater than 2 but less than 5. There was no equal sign mentioned, so which means that all your signs should be single. And the bigger number is always to the right, and the smaller number is always to the left. So we have smaller number is 2, and the bigger number is 5. This is how you do it. So X is bigger than 2, and X is less than 5. So the best way is, remember, put the first smaller number first and the bigger number last, and put the X in the middle, and make sure your symbol always will have to face the right. But make sure when there's no equal sign mentioned, they have to be single. Now let's look at the second one. X is greater than 0 but less than 4. So no equal sign mentioned. 0 is smaller and 4 is bigger. So you put them in the right place, and as I said, you put X in the middle and you put your single sign there. Now what about X is greater than 3 but less than or equal to 8? Still put your 3 first and 8 last. X in the middle. If you realize that the first statement there was no equal sign, so the 3 will have a single sign, but there was an equal sign on the second section, which means that the second section should have what? A bar or equal sign attached to the single sign. So this is how it's going to be. X is bigger than 3 or less than or equal to 8. Last one. If you check carefully, there's equal on both sides. So which means all the symbols should have the equal sign attached to it. Smaller number is 8, bigger number is 11. You put the X in the middle and make sure you have your equal sign attached to them. Okay, let's look at question 2. Question 2 is the reverse of the first one. We're going to write statements to represent them. N is bigger than 2 and it's less than 9. Second one, N is bigger than or equal to negative 9, but N is less than negative 2. So N is greater than or equal to negative 9, but less than negative 2. Last one, N is bigger than or equal to negative 5, but less than or equal to 1. So this is how we learn writing statements, either using words or mathematical statements. Now, last video will be on how do we compare two inequalities to agree on the list of values that will satisfy two given inequalities. That's what we're going to do as our last lesson on Introduction to Inequalities.